and get welcome to the neighborhood with a blanket spraying of 2,4-D. To say it's disappointing is putting it very mildly. Last night I was sitting in this room working on video editing, and this window behind me, you see here, was open. I heard something kind of walking around outside, and then I heard the distinct noise of an animal eating vegetation. And my first thought was, the sheep escaped again. But I grabbed my camera real quick and the flashlight and looked outside, and this is what I saw. This serves as a good reminder that I need to get that deer fence around the garden electrified. You freshening that water, boy?
Yes, but now what even the water is?
Oh, it's under there. So while Elliot's refilling the water here, giving the sheep some fresh water, I want to talk about the hose that we're using. It's a really cool hose. The hose is made by a company called Water Right Incorporated out of Oregon. They make them there in Oregon, so made in the USA. The hoses are completely non-toxic. There's no BPA, there's no lead, there's no phthalates, or any other cocktail of toxic nastiness that's typically found in garden hoses. This is free of all that stuff. It's food grade, it's designed for drinking water. You definitely don't want to be drinking out of your standard garden hose at home, much less be watering your garden with it. Since we're doing everything here as organically as possible, it was really important for me to get a hose that wasn't going to contribute to toxicity in the animals. If we're going through all this effort to do everything else right, it only made sense to take it all away and get them cleaner water too. So they have several different styles of hoses, but this one right here is the 500 series, 1/2 inch, and the fittings on it are really cool. This is a stainless steel fitting. A lot of hoses have brass fittings, and brass is known to contain lead. Do you want lead in your water? I don't. They do offer a chrome-plated, lead-free brass option, which is cheaper than the stainless steel one, but I just went ahead with the stainless steel. And they have different lengths, different sizes. Another thing I really like about this hose is its durability factor. It's designed not to leak or crack or anything like that. It's designed to be left out in the sun. The UV rays aren't going to break it down in time or anything like that. In fact, the company claims the longer you leave it out, the better it gets. It actually improves with age. My source of water is this hydrant right down there, and I have the hose running all the way from there to the drip emitters at the garden, and I divert it also to give water to the sheep. So the hose is coming right across on the ground through this area here, and as you can see, there's a path starting to be worn through here. We're having a lot of construction done on the house before we moved in, and the contractors were using this for ingress and egress. Well, I already had my hose laid out, so they were running over it with heavy trucks every day, and there were no issues with the hose. So it's already taken some abuse and is holding up quite well. Premier One, I know what this is. One of the main reasons why we are taking this step into homesteading was so we can take control of our own food supply and know that we're producing a high quality, nutrient dense food for our family. Doing everything I possibly can in a non-toxic, organic manner is really important to me. Raising my own food puts me in control of that. With that in mind, let me share the story from earlier today with you. I was in my bedroom and I heard a little bit of rumbling noise in the pasture to the north of me. It's my neighbor's property. It's not our property. It's a large 10-acre hayfield. So I looked out the window and I saw a tractor start to roll through the field. Being a little curious, I watched the tractor to see what it was doing. Kind of emerged from behind the trees, and I saw it was pulling something. It was pulling a cart of some kind. So I looked closer. Then I saw there was a sprayer attachment on it, and it was emitting a spray. My heart sank. I immediately started closing all the windows. I mean, this was close. We're not talking about way off in the distance. This is essentially in my backyard. I'm seeing this mist of chemicals spewing out everywhere. I knew it wasn't good, but I was really holding on to that hope that, man, this is worm tea or compost tea, comfrey tea, something like that. This is a pure, organic, concoction that's being sprayed on this field. When the spraying stopped, I waited a little while and I got Elliot and we went to the next door neighbor's house, the owners of the 10-acre parcel behind our property, and we introduced ourselves, said we're your new neighbors and everything, and exchanged phone numbers and did the neighborly thing. Casually brought up how I observed the tractor spraying in the backfield, and I asked about what kind of chemicals they were using. The gentleman responded that he was using 2,4-D. As many of you probably know, 2,4-D is basically the commercial version of Agent Orange. And this is a particularly sensitive issue for my wife and I. My father-in-law used to work in an industrial agriculture setting on a citrus orchard, and he regularly applied 2,4-D to these trees. He developed a really severe case of throat cancer. Though it can't be necessarily proven that it was from the 2,4-D, it's pretty likely. But this is just so upsetting because we worked so hard and sacrificed so much to get to this place and be able to do this, and to move here and get welcome to the neighborhood with a blanket spraying of 2,4-D. To say it's disappointing is putting it very mildly. If anyone else is going through or has gone through a similar experience, if you could leave some comments down in the section below. I'd like to hear from you. Any encouragement at this point would be great. Thanks a lot.